Alright, there it goes. Now I'm gonna fucking cut this son of a bitch here off. Close that. Let's end that. Close this. Yeah, cause fuck that. We ain't gonna play these games. We ain't playing no games with these motherfuckers. Yep, there we go. Yep. Well. I got it to work. Finally. After all of its freaking bullshit, but I got it to work. Internet's running slow. There's a storm coming. Supposed to be hitting pretty hard. Tornado warning until 3 or 4 a.m. Thunderstorms. Hail. It's going to be raining. Now, welcome to the Jose Hall Show, and we're ready to get this thing started where nothing's off the table and everything is up for grabs. Let's see how today's show goes today. Now, I don't know what you're expecting. I don't know what I'm expecting. But we're going to have a good show tonight. We're not going to allow anything to get in our way of having a great show. Now, there's various topics that we could talk about, right? You know, politics, whatever, right? Maybe tonight, maybe not tonight. We'll see how the night takes us. But for now, what are we doing today? So, I was looking at some space stuff today. Very interesting stuff. I love anything to do with space. It just fascinates the shit out of me. You know, one day, maybe, never, I don't know, we'll see. I end up in outer space, right? I want to get to one of these planets, claim it as my own. Fuck it, as you know, why not? Might as well claim it as my own. If I make it there, it's mine. If the United States government sends me to a planet somewhere, I'm claiming it as mine. I don't care, it's mine. Now, so I was looking at some space stuff today, very fascinating things, but what concerns me is how we don't know enough about the ocean, right? I mean, we don't know about what's underneath all that water. See, I know some people might think that there's nothing down there but dirt and dead animals and sea creatures or whatnot. We don't know, right? We have some movies that are coming out for that, like Under the Sea or some shit like that. I don't know what it's called, but it looks interesting. I'm gonna have to check it out. But now, I would like to see us try to work on more stuff to get to the bottom of the ocean. To be honest, that'd be pretty cool. If we get down to the bottom of the ocean, we find some creature that we've never seen before. Maybe even Godzilla's down there. We don't know. I mean, Godzilla could be real. They were testing nukes in the Pacific, right? Maybe Godzilla's running free down there, taking on whales and whatnot. You never know, right? You know how the squids are. Very aggressive. They ain't got no patience for Godzilla. But maybe it's a fight to the death going on down there. We don't know. But we tend to know more about what's going on in outer space than we do in our own oceans. But I like to see us explore a little bit more of it. Now, I was watching this video that was taking place in outer space or whatever, right? Or it was a video about outer space and how there's a ring around our solar system that one of the satellites made it to it or something, and they found that there's a rise in temperature out there. So there's like a heat band right around the solar system. So very interesting things to see. I was watching about the Hubble telescope. That's in outer space. That's how they're getting these better pictures of the stars. They said it's so much more powerful and the capabilities are so much better than the land telescopes that we have, right? And you know how we have one in so many different countries. Like there's a bunch of countries that have their own telescopes down here on Earth for looking into the stars. I don't know what they're looking for, but maybe we find it. Maybe we shouldn't have found it. We don't know. But Star Trek won't be that bad of an event going on, right? Let's make the Enterprise. Make sure I'm in the right genre. But yeah, let's get the Enterprise out there and let's explore some. Right? Let's turn fantasy into reality. Right? I think we can do it. Will it be expensive? Of course it will be. I'm not expecting it to be cheap. But now, another thing. So I'm getting information about that a lot of people aren't seeing my notifications. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they have other shows that they're into, or they're crowded. There's other streams are crowding their feeds or stuff like that. But I was notified that they're not getting their notifications. I'm not too worried about the people, because I know that if they did see me live, they'll come in here and they'll hang out. But I don't understand why they're not getting it. Now, if it's because of my content, if it's because certain things, maybe, I don't know. But either or, the show must go on. Now, like I was saying, I was talking about space, that stuff really intrigues me, just thinking of it. And I want to know, like, do y'all think that there's, like, aliens out there, right? Do y'all think that there's life on other planets? And I'm not talking about in our own solar system. I'm talking about other solar systems or other areas of the space, right? I would only assume that there's multiples, right? There's got to at least be one Earth in every galaxy. At least I think so. Well, at least I would think so. I mean, I really doubt that we're the only ones. If they say life started the way that it said it did, then why isn't there more? Like, why wouldn't you think there were more Earths out there where there's people living out there and doing their own thing, and maybe they're more advanced or maybe they're less advanced. We don't know, right? But it's so interesting to just think of that mindset of there could be life out there. There could be life out there that that's trying to reach us the same way we're trying to reach them. Now, is there? We don't know, right? Like I said, the thought of it is wonderful, right? Like the thought of it, of like there's another species out there, another human life out there on another planet, living its best life, living his best life and just doing his thing, right? Now, that's why that's what I was saying, like, I want to know. I really want to know, like, what kind of creatures are out there. So, you good? Oh, okay. So, I want to know. I want to know what's out there. But, other than that, I mean, what do y'all think? Do y'all think there's life out there? Do you think that we're the only, like, planet with humans on it? Are there other versions of this Earth out there that just, is habitated, right? Now, if there was an intelligent species out there that would like to come here to the United States or come to the world, I honestly have to tell them, man, you might want to stay away. We're kind of crazy down here. We're all kind of crazy down here. We have no control over what everybody does. so you're gonna get here and the alien might get probed, right? They say the aliens be probing people. I think that we're gonna be probing it. Okay, so aliens, if you see this in outer space, you're just out there on your outer space YouTube and you're just minding your old business and you're like, oh my god, did you see what that human said? They might probe us. We're gonna have to stay away. You never know. So, where is everybody at tonight? Where is everybody out at tonight? Now, I don't know where everybody is, but we're still here, right? I'm still here with whoever comes to just hang out, shoot the breeze, chit chat about a bunch of shit, and just, do our thing, right? Because that's what we've been doing. We're just doing our thing, just trying to capitalize on the show, right? Capitalize on just living, right? Just, that's what we're all doing, right? capitalizing on life and just trying to make the most of whatever we have. But so, like I said, I was watching some space stuff today. I always, like I said, it always entertains me quite a bit. But I do like, say for instance, like conspiracy stuff, right? So conspiracy stuff, I like that kind of stuff. That's very fascinating to me. I hear people who like conspiracy stuff aren't all the way there, right? They're mentally, something's wrong with them. But I don't believe that about that. So, like for instance, like Agenda 21, the HART program, what else is there? We have because the HART program is about weather control and stuff, and then just there's so much out there, right? The whole new world order, 5G, and what it means to the human race. The new Wi-Fi systems that are coming out for the home. The megahertz that they're running on are supposedly high enough to break down oxygen, right? So can you imagine you're in a home all day with the Wi-Fi on, and it's suffocating you in a way? So that's a scary thought, right? But you never know what the actual reality of these things are. Okay, everything that's new comes with a certain type of risk. Until we get there, we won't know what the risk is, right? We don't know if the risk of 5G means we all grow an extra leg, okay? Because of the radiation that's supposed to be coming off of the 5G and the new towers that they're wanting to put in. They're going to have to put in 3, 4, 5, 6 times the existing towers that we have. So I've seen some videos on 5G. I've seen some stuff, like I said, on Agenda 21 with the New World Order and that kind of stuff, right? Now, I also seen like stuff for like the underground cities, right? Maybe we've got the Umbrella Corporation going on all over the place in every major city or something like that, right? Maybe every major city has an Umbrella Corporation. They have an underlying trucking system that goes from city to city that only carries essentials, right? That would be an interesting concept. Could it be real? Possibly, possibly not. We don't know, right? But that's what makes a conspiracy theory so interesting, right? Because there's always the possibility that whatever information they're giving you, it can be true, right? We don't know if it's true. We don't know if these conspiracies have any factual backing to it, right? We don't know if like these things are real, like if the UN is really pushing for a new world order and wanting one government, one currency, one leader for all the countries, or if it really wants these different things, right? Now, same thing with the weather control. Are we really controlling the weather? Now, some would argue no, right? Some would argue that we cannot control the weather. But if you look at a news story back during the Vietnam War, right? They used weather control to control the weather in Vietnam because there was an area that they needed to cross, right? But they couldn't cross it because of was it they couldn't cross it, or they needed to cross, or they didn't want nobody to cross it? I think they didn't want, they needed to cross it, but because it was always raining, they couldn't cross it, right? It was too muddy. They couldn't get any heavy equipment, that kind of stuff across there. And so what they did is they had flew planes through the sky, dropping aluminum something or another in the air, causing it to stop raining, right? It would absorb the moisture in the air. And then and after a few days of that, they were able to cross because then it had stopped raining for a while. Now, some people believe that because there's a HARP tower in so many countries, that multiple countries are playing with the weather. Now, they say that there's one in Africa, and they think the one that's in Africa is the one that's starting the hurricanes and sending them towards the United States, right? But some would argue the fact, we don't know, right? all we know is what weather shows us and what weather has taught us, that kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to like we have one in North America or like in somewhere like there's a bunch of them, right? And I seen that whatever it's doing, it was like pushing. It was like if they were trying to open up a hole in the ozone, the way that it was able to push so high upwards. And like I said, they think that it's possible that we're controlling the weather. Now, just imagine if we are. You know how when Iran dropped or sent off those bombs the other day, and they were hit with an earthquake the same day. Now, some would call it coincidence, right? Coincidence of bad misfortune. That's just what happens, right? And some people would suspect that we might have sent that earthquake to Iran. That was our attack. Because if you're into those kind of conspiracy theories, you would believe that we might have sent that earthquake, that we hit them with that. We didn't have to send a missile. We didn't have to send armed forces, and Iran knows it, right? Maybe some of these other countries know it, right? So you would think that kind of idea. Is it a possibility? We don't know, right? They're always going to say no. You know what I mean? That's just what the government does regardless. Even if it was true, right? Even if it was true and they could control the weather, do you really think they're going to admit it? Admit that they're doing it? Look at that movie, what's that movie called? Where they had that space ship or space shuttle or whatever in outer space, and they can send those beams down and change the weather all over the world, right? And then the other government or one of the people try to take over it and try to turn it on the government or on the country. You know, that stuff it just amazes you, like, because you question it. You're like, maybe they're already working on those things, and those movies are based off of actual shit, right? They're like, it could be based off of it. Now, you know, everyone knows that the CIA invests money into Hollywood. Now, this is the reason why you can't trust these people in Hollywood, because that's the thing, is that a lot of these people and a lot of entertainment is funded by the government. Now, if you look at, they were saying that the U.S. military or the United States spends X amount of dollars, like millions of dollars, for promoting pro United States, pro military for the football games, right? So they're trying to give you that patriotic feeling, and that's what they're trying to do, right? Now, in most cases, you don't have to try to convince people to be patriotic. They're patriotic in general, right? They represent where they're from, where they live. They're going to back them, you know, this country regardless, 100%, regardless of its flaws. They don't care. This is our country. We're fighting with it, right or wrong, right? Sometimes that gets us in trouble. Sometimes it doesn't. But either or. Now, that with all that being said, you have to be concerned that they're really using these things on us, right? Say, for instance, like mind control, right? So when they were doing mind control, and they said that they weren't doing it, but they then later on declassified, saying that they were using mind control on the United States citizens. You know, look at was it PCP or whatever, right? Or acid or some shit like that. Whatever the I think it was PCP, and that they developed because it was supposed to help the military want to fight without like hesitation. It was meant to do certain things with them, but still though, right? But at the same time, I mean, you are getting people to go against their natural order, right? You know, it's not really natural for someone to want to kill somebody. That's why murderers or serial killers are looked a certain way, because it's not in a natural state. Sometimes you have to train these people into wanting to kill or wanting to hurt somebody or run into these situations and not want to flee, right? Because of that fight or flight mechanism built into every human. It's either fight or fly. and some cases they fight, some cases they fly. But you see with the military though, they always fight, regardless of the situation. So it takes a little bit of convincing somebody to always run into the building. If you know that there's a strong possibility that you're not going to come out of that building alive, you are going to want to jump in, and you're not going to want to go in that building, right? I mean, there's 4 military personnel going into a building with 20 armed soldiers that want to kill them, and they know that they're outnumbered, and yet they still go in there. See, now that's going against its flight mechanism built into people, right? But when I watch these things, it's always very interesting. But like when it comes to like aliens, and it comes to outer space, and it comes to these different things that are going on, it makes you wonder, right? When they were talking about the fires in California, they were saying that the government is the government people, or people who are working for the government, are the ones starting these fires. That they're not natural. You know how they burn up these communities, trying to make people fear on getting homes in California, put everybody in these apartment type homes to get them out of their personal homes, to kind of bunch everyone together, and why they're pushing so hard for bus and transit and bike lanes and stuff like that. They want you working they want you living closer to where you work. They don't want you driving. They want to take away, the vehicles. They want to take away. They want to take away, all these different things, and it makes you wonder, like, is that the ultimate goal, or is that what they're really trying to push on us? Because sometimes you may look at it and you might go, you know what? I think they're trying to take us out. I think they're trying to take us out of owning our own homes and having our own space and carrying our weapons and doing all this stuff, compressing us all together like cattle, right? But see, the best way to get people to do what you want to do is usually fear, right? If you scare the people, then what happens is the people will fall in line, and that's what they do. Scare the people with gun violence to push them in line to take away the guns. Fear them on that your homes are always gonna catch on fire, or bad shit's gonna happen to them. So then it pushes you into apartments, and and then you're like, oh well, I'm having to live in these apartments, and I have to get back and forth to work. Well, they're saying, no, quit working wherever you're working, or move to wherever you're working. Don't have a commute more than 10 minutes from your home. So that you can cut down on carbon and fumes and all this other stuff, right? To keep you from driving so much. Because they don't believe that we should have our own vehicles. And which is funny is that because they want us to have vehicles, right? They sell us the idea of having vehicles. You have to have your own vehicle. You have to have more than one or two. So they're trying to get us out of that mindset that you need these things. So that's why at the same time you start to look at it and you're like, man, that looks pretty fucking familiar. That looks like something they're actually fucking pushing. If you look at it like, oh man, look at the Democrats on the left, right? They want to take away your guns. A lot of them have already said that yes, they would pass laws on either taking away certain types of guns, if not all guns, and trying to cut back on vehicles. Sorry, the top of my nose right here, it's just fucking weird. But now, trying to take away vehicles, and they're trying to get you to go to these electric vehicles. If you are going to have a vehicle, they want it to be electric, no carbon, no combustion engines for the vehicles. And then and if you look at it, you're like, man, fuck. They said home ownership's on the decline. Nobody's wanting to buy homes and this and that. And they said that people feel like they don't need it. No, it's not that people feel like they don't need it. They're outpricing us. right? There was a time when you can get a home, or any of us can get homes, and work towards it and build it and keep it for a lifetime, right? But now it's getting so difficult to even try to get a home. They're trying to keep everyone out of homes, get you into these apartments, these condos, these duplexes, such and such, right? So on and so on. Get you. I've even seen like co-op living, right? They want you to get to this co-op living state where you're living with people, right? And why would you want to live with other people that you either don't know, you don't trust? If they're trying to say like, hey, we should get into like college type dorm living, right? Where all you have is your room. That's your space. And you have a community kitchen and a community bathroom and a community shower. And then y'all can all ride the same fucking bus to work or to school or whatever the case may be. That's what they're doing. They're like, hey, we want everyone to get into the idea of co-op living, right? Let's get away from individual apartments. Let's get out of that mindset that you need a 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom apartment, 4-bedroom apartment. No, they say we want people to move into these. What's up, K-Dog? What's going on, man? And it's nice to see you here, man. Man, I'm just talking about some of these mindsets that people are trying to portray on us, some conspiracy theories, that kind of stuff. The Agenda 21, the way that the union is trying to take over a lot of these countries, trying to push into for one country above all, and one currency for everybody because they don't like this multiple currencies. But the way that I was talking about how some of these things that I hear in the conspiracy theory of Agenda 21 is some of the stuff that I'm seeing from the left. Right, I'm seeing them attacking your personal goals and future and things that you want. Right, so for instance, if you want a home, they're trying to convince you that you don't need a home. They're trying to convince you into doing apartments, condos, duplexes, community living. They want you to do those kind of things. They want you to basically give up the idea of home ownership. And the way that they're trying to get you to give up the idea of home ownership is one, saying that you don't need it, right? They're saying that you don't need it, the greenhouse gas effect or whatever, right? They're saying that's too much. Now, that sounds like something that's going on the left. I'm like, man, that sounds like the fucking left. If they go certain things that they're pushing, right? They want to get us out of the combustion engine, go full electric, but there's some concerns about going full electric because what does the full electric vehicle need, right? They use batteries. Now, if you look at Tesla's, on the very base of their car, right? On the very base, the entire base of the car is basically a giant battery. Now, it's actually a very wide base, the entire length of the car almost, from wheelbase to wheelbase, where there's only individual battery cells in there, in each one, right? Now, the thing about these batteries is they're using lithium. I don't know how to pronounce it right. I'm getting tongue tied. Now, they're using these batteries that are mined in China. Okay, China has one of the largest, or the largest, lithium field where they get all the stuff for the batteries, right? That's another reason why they try to get you to recycle your batteries, not just because they think it's better for the earth. What they want to do is you recycle your batteries, they repurpose the lithium for a fraction of the price, right? So for instance, China had 100,000 fucking people working in the mine, digging up this lithium. They're producing them into batteries and whatever quantities they get it for, ship it all to the United States. We pay $8 for the battery, $6 dollar store battery. It doesn't really matter if it has lithium in it. You're paying whatever for the battery price. Then what happens is, you use up the battery, it fucking dies, right? You can reuse those batteries if you can charge them, if you have a way of recharging it or repurposing it, right? So what happens is that the United States government is telling people, hey, recycle your batteries, right? Recycle the batteries, recycle the batteries, recycle the batteries. But it's not because they're worried that, oh my God, the batteries are going to go to the landfills and they're going to fucking turn all the landfill rats into new rat dinosaurs or something, right? Really what it is that they're running to recycle the lithium for a fraction of the price, because really they don't pay you anything. They don't pay you to recycle your batteries, okay? Unless it's one of the bigger ones, right? Unless it's one of like a car battery, because a car battery you can take it to a scrap yard, wherever, they'll pay you up to $10 a battery, right? That's also another reason why auto parts stores and stuff like that charge you the core, because they send this stuff back to China, they repurpose it, and then they resell you the same exact stuff without having to do all the extra work of getting that stuff out, right? You know, prepping the acid, whatever they do, right? But that's what they're doing. And now, like I say, I get concerned because the ideas of the left, as some people may see it as progressive, right? That we're moving forward. And we always want to keep moving forward because we can't stay where we're at, because that's what humans are, right? Humans want to move forward. If we can't move forward, we start to lose control. We don't know what to live for. But see, that's why they keep trying to move forward, right? We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep moving forward. But the way that they're trying to push it on to us, that's a problem. See, when they were talking about going solar, right? I was like, man, I don't want to go all solar. The reason why I don't want to go all solar, as much as I would like to have free renewable energy, right? Because I'm tired of paying a damn electric bill. You know, the light company gets to do whatever the hell they want. Yes, you can shop around and get electricity from various different people, but in the bottom line, you're paying, you know, anywhere between 100 to 500, depending on what kind of power usage you use, where you live at, every month for power. So coming up with a renewable source sounds reasonable, and you're going to get people to agree with the idea of renewable energy. The problem is that the cost for renewable energy is outrageous. Have you ever tried to go buy one of those solar panels, just one single solar panel? It costs you a couple $100 just for one. Now, just imagine trying to produce enough of them to produce enough power for all of the United States. Now, see, not only that is that the precious metals that are used to make these solar panels, like gold, silver, aluminum, platinum and stuff like that, these precious metals that are being used to make this stuff increases the value, because now people are going to have to go out and produce more of it. See, in order to get where everyone's trying to get us to, we're going to have to do more damage than good, right? Because just imagine these gold mines are going to have to fire up. People are going to make good money, right? But these gold mines, these different mines are going to have to fire up, produce more smoke in the air from these heavy machineries, shipping all these goods and stuff like that back and forth. And then the question is, who's the largest manufacturer of solar panels? Well, China is the leading and the top person making solar panels. Right, I remember when something about California passing required residents to have solar panels on their homes, and here in Texas they had a program, right, where if homeowners were getting these solar panels, they give you a tax credit, right? They'll give you a tax credit for getting these solar panels for your homes. But what happens is that the solar panels power your home, send power up the line. But the problem is it puts a lot of strain on your solar panels, right? Unless everyone in the community is doing this, it's going to put a lot of strain on you, because you have to remember, though, you're sending power through the lines. That's power being pulled. And see, I watched this one video where they were showing how you're being charged twice for power. You're getting charged for the input, for the power coming into your home. And remember, power is a circulation, right? It has to go in one way and it has to go out one way. So when you plug something in, it goes into the light, goes around the light, comes back out the light, back into the wall. Well, they're saying that the light companies are charging you twice because they're charging you for the power coming out and they're charging you for the power going back in. So they're double dipping on the power. Now, if you have solar panels, just imagine though, you're the only one with solar panels and you're hooked up to the main power source with everyone else. Right? How has that not become a problem? You know what I mean? And then, but, I get it, right? I get the idea. We do want renewable energy. Now, I was listening to the left talk about how they want free college, right? We want free college. We want free college. We have to have free college, right? And they were talking about this going green, solar panels and everything, right? I will give up free college for free power. How about we make that deal? Right? If you tell me that we're going to add solar panels and everything is going to be free, renewable energy straight from the sun, right? We got wind turbines, we got solar panels. It'll take all the residents to pay their lights for 1 year, and after that year is up, free lights. As long as they are producing things, and if they need to replace a few panels, they send out a group payment to everyone that's in that community, and they will help replace solar panels for that area, right? But now that's what I'm saying is that when they were introducing this solar, the question is, then why aren't we getting the power for free? We're getting the energy for free. We're using wind to produce power. We're using solar panels to produce power and stuff like that. Then why aren't we talking about free power for everyone? Because they still have to make their money. These politicians have their hands full with all these companies constantly throwing money at them. Hell, I suggested to somebody that, hey, what if we took Donald Trump's wall, which I'm for, right? We get Donald Trump's wall, put solar panels on the top of that wall there, and let's fucking produce some power for the communities that are close to the wall. They say that these people are trying to climb over the wall and whatnot. Try climbing on top of one of them hot ass solar panels. Right? See one of these people try to get on top of there. Them suckers get hot. And then everyone's talking about, oh, hey, these solar panels, they're going to produce more jobs. Man, that's more jobs. It's thousands and thousands of jobs that are going to be high paying. People are going to be able to go to school and learn how to do these things. But I've seen a solar farm, right? They had a couple of them when I passed a couple of them when I was traveling to Arizona, to the Grand Canyon, right? Now, I passed a couple of them. Literally, it was fenced in. They have all these little things, and they're on an automatic thing, right? They move with the sun. Wherever the sun's going, that thing's going with it, right? It's rotating with it. Now, tell me how many people does it take to maintain that? If we sit there and we put, let's see, because if they can't make money, it screws businesses, like the treaty that they already made with Everlasting Light Bulb. But if it doesn't burn out, people won't go back to the stores and replace it. Yeah, I mean, because of the incandescent light bulbs, they go out over time. You go get you another one. But really what's pushing the move for LED is just the cost of lights. Because people are just trying to bring down the cost of lights. Right? So even if we didn't have a deal with these light companies, with these light, when I say light companies, I'm not talking about power light companies. I'm talking about light companies like the ones that make the LEDs, stuff like that, right? People who are buying LEDs, it's mainly because they're just trying to bring down the light cost, right? Because a incandescent light bulb burning at 45 watts an hour, right? You got one incandescent light bulb burning 41 watts, and you can go add in 4 9 watt light bulbs with a brighter white look to it that uses a fraction of the power, right? See, so that's what people do. Say, for instance, I did that, right? I took all my incandescent light bulbs out of the house, put all LEDs. I went through every room in the house, okay? I had over 21, I think, 21 or 22 light bulbs in the house, okay? Because I live in an apartment, so there's lights literally all over the place. So 22 lights were in the house, took them all out, put in LEDs in all of them, right? If you were to take 22 and times it by 45, hold on, I'm gonna get this calculator real quick, so give me 1 second. Hold on, just give me 1 second. I got it calculating right now. That's 990 watts an hour, right? So you're using 990 watts an hour for 20 kilowatts for an hour. And just imagine that you take, for instance, you take the 9 watts and place them in there. You're only using 198. So you're using 198 kilowatts for 21 LEDs over 990 kilowatts using incandescent. So I see the change out, right? Because if you think about it, say for instance, if you have a light bill, if you look at your light bill, it usually says about 10 cents to 12 cents per kilowatt up to the first 2,000 kilowatts. Who the hell is using only 2,000 kilowatts a month? Nobody's using 2,000 kilowatts a month. Right? People are using way more than that. People are using, it depends on what they want to do. If they want to plug in a microwave, just imagine the kilowatts that are coming off of that. And if they use it a lot. Same thing with your stove, same thing with your dishwasher, same thing with your wash machine and your dryer. So people look at that like an easy change, right? It says, hey, I just reduced my kilowatts in my home by 800 kilowatts an hour. Just kind of helped me out. So, and that lets if you have your lights on for the entire hours, right? Because it's by hour, kilowatt per hour. Now, so that's when, God dang it, my nose itches. So that's why I was saying, like, I see the concept. Not every move is a bad move, right? But it's the method in which we're trying to get there. It's the forced making us do it. Now, because if you don't want to do it, you shouldn't have to do it, right? If you want to use incandescent light bulbs, more power to you. Do it. I won't tell you not to do it. If you want to use LEDs, do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. It's your right to do whatever the hell you want in your home, how you power it, how you light it up, whatever, right? Now, but they want to micromanage every little detail that we do in life because they think they know what's best for all of us. And every time you tell them, well, not all Americans believe this and believe that, they'll say, well, majority of them do. That's what they'll always say. Majority of them do. What fucking majority are you talking to? Because if you talk to the majority that I know, they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. They're going to tell you to get the hell on. You go mind your own damn business. What we do here is what we do here. We don't need you telling us what to do here. Why do you think there were so many issues with the government? Why people have these issues with them? Because they're constantly trying to overstep and just push and push and push and push and thinking that we're not going to push back. Yeah, exactly, man. I tell people when I talk to people, I'm not far right. I'm not like this conservative. I can't listen to the left. Right? And I'm not on the left and I'm not saying F the conservatives. I'm saying I lean more to the right because I believe in what a lot of them are saying. I believe that they make a lot of sense. I look at the left and I say some of these ideas could possibly work, but you're trying to fuck us all. Right? When all these, like I said, all these politicians who said they want to take the guns away from Americans, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. What is the law of the land? If I ask you, K-Dog, what is the law of the land? What is our basis? Like, what is to say, this is the law of the land, nothing is higher than this? And you're going to say the Constitution, right? The Constitution, that's the law of the land. The First Amendment for the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, the right to protest. These things are the law of the land. But exactly, the Constitution, every little bit is being overstepped. They say that nothing is higher than that. When they talk about the president, they say, oh, the president, the Constitution, that's the law of the land. And then they say nothing's above that. Well, we're watching you step above it with little pieces of law here and a little piece of law here and a little piece of law here, until you take everything that you say that we're allowed to do piece by piece, and people are giving it up because they don't know, because it's so small. Look, how do you control the people's freedom of speech? If I had to ask you, how would you control the people's freedom of speech? And you know how you control the people's freedom of speech? Play with their money. Play with their money. I bet they'll fucking do what you say. If you don't believe me, look at YouTube. Right? YouTube says you can't use certain types of language. You can't talk about certain things, right? Or we don't pay you. Look at these companies that say if you go out in public and you say things that we don't like you saying, we're going to fire you. That is a step against your freedom to say what you want to say. Now, I've always told many people before, just because you can say it doesn't mean you should say it. There's consequences to everything you say, and it may not be criminal consequence, but you don't know who the hell you're talking around, and that can lead to an ass whooping. You never really know. You go around the wrong person talking crazy shit happens. Yeah, and if you give them an inch, they'll take things. Yeah, before you know it, you're giving up a mile, then you're giving up another mile, and before you know it, you've given up so much that you can't go back. So that's how they're attacking the freedom of speech, right? With playing with your money, fucking with your money. They're taking your you can lose your money for what you say. Right? Now, Second Amendment. I'm a strong believer in the Second Amendment. I believe that it's the right for every man, woman to have their fucking guns. I even think that it's okay for some children to have guns, right? Because there were children who had guns prior to laws about guns. Right? You can be 16 and have a rifle. Parents were giving their kids 22s and different types of rifles when they were younger. There was no problems with that. Somebody got hurt. Somebody thought that they're not old enough to be using these guns. Then what happens, they start taking away the right to give your children these real guns and start giving them the BB guns. Then now they're saying, no, BB guns are too dangerous for kids. Yeah, it's very effective because they are the master of distraction and dumbing people down with media, entertainment, etc. Yeah, that's what they do. And that is a scary concept, to think that we have elected people in office doing this stuff to us. We put them in office though, because we think that they have the best interest of us. But no, what happens to every person that we put in office that we think have the best interest in us? The very first thing they do is they become one of them. They line their pockets the same way that the other ones have been lining their pockets. They get you to do some dirt. Once they get you to do some dirt, some shady shit, now they got you by the balls, and you either agree with them or they'll put you in prison. They'll lock you up. They'll castrate you. They'll do different things to you. I heard that there's there's a thing called shit. What did they say that they did to Bush? Because they don't think Bush Senior killed himself. He was actually, there's something military wise that they said that they do to people, right? I'm not familiar with it, so I don't want to go too far into it. But that's the thing that we're talking about, right? You look at your Second Amendment, background checks. So if they think that you shouldn't have a gun, they're taking it away from you. They don't care if you were 15 when you committed this crime. They don't care if you were 13 when you committed this crime. Regardless, you committed it. That means you're a criminal for life. They don't care. You shouldn't have the right to protect you, yourself, your country. It doesn't matter. You don't deserve to have it. So they're using that to overstep your Second Amendment. They're using the fact that if you get a felony, you cannot have a gun. And that right there is also another step. Because you know how easy it is to get a felony? I mean, it is not that hard to get a felony. Okay? You know, shit happens. And I get it. Not everyone... And that's the thing, is that I don't think everyone deserves to have a gun. Right? Because they have people with murderous intentions who just want to cause harm to people. But why are all of us, you know, who abide by the laws, who are just minding our own business, always have to answer for the 1% who are out there committing all these crimes? But you know why? Because, look, in every city, there's an average of 1 to 3% of its population committing crimes with guns or whatever, right? Now, if you go to every city has the same 3%, right? That makes it look like a large number, because some cities have multiple millions of people. Some people only have a couple 100,000 people. If you only have a couple 100,000 people in your city, and 3% of your city is out there fucking acting an ass and being crazy, look what happens then. They're going to say, look at this fucking city, this gun violence. Oh my God, they're killing us all. They want us all dead, whatever, right? So then they pass laws to fight against it. You know what I mean? Look at California's red flag law. Yeah, Citizen Man explains that if you defend yourself in New York with a firearm, you're automatically slapped with a felony. I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar to if not the same in California. Yeah, but see, in California, they have the red flag laws. Right? So in California, if I see you have a gun on your side, right? Right? I see you walking around, you're at the farmer's market, you're just out there picking fucking vegetables, you're getting your tomatoes, you're getting your carrots, you're getting all your stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, I see you have a gun. I don't like guns. So then I go, oh my God, he's got a gun. Oh my God, I gotta call somebody. So I call the police. Police see that you have a gun, right? And I told them that I believe you're a threat. I believe you're a threat to society, to the people, to yourself, to your family, whatever the case may be. And then the officer takes your gun. You have to go to court, plead your case to say that I am not a threat to nobody. I legally own that gun. I'm allowed to have that gun. And then they'll go, oh, well, somebody had made a complaint. We had to take it for just in case, for safety reasons, whatever the case may be, right? And that's another reason why when the U.S. government was talking about possibly looking into the red flag laws, everyone got pissed. I mean, everyone was pissed. It was like, no, fuck you. No, you are fucking full of shit. Don't you dare do that to me. Right? We love this country, and we follow the fucking the Constitution the way that we're supposed to. You gave us these rights. Don't fucking goddamn take that shit from us. Right? And everybody started uproar about it. And then you know what you did here? Nothing else about it. Donald Trump fucking shut that shit down. He was like, I'm not gonna fuck with y'all's Second Amendment. But you know, Donald Trump won't be in office forever. Okay, he's going to finish this term in 2020. He's going to get reelected in 2020. And then he's going to do 4 more years. And whoever they fucking put in office after that scares the shit out of me. Because we might get somebody from the far fucking left who's been pushing these ideas for late term abortions, for pushing all these different things onto us, and we may end up with one of them. Because a lot of people say, oh man, y'all hated Obama so much that y'all gave us Trump. That's payback. Well, just imagine the payback they're going to want to try to inflict on us for Trump. Because we wanted Trump in office. Because we felt that he's better for this country than half the people that were running. Better than a portion of the politicians that are out there. Donald Trump's hands aren't clean. And I'm not going to pretend they are. Right? Nobody's hands are clean. You don't become a millionaire and a billionaire or whatever you are without getting your hands a little dirty. Somebody has to get screwed. For every person who wins, someone loses. It's shown it time and time again. Every good law that we get, every good thing that we get here in the United States, there's somebody who's looking at it like they just got screwed. And that's always going to be the game of it. I had a person ask me why I wanted Donald Trump to win back in 2016. I said I wanted Donald Trump to win because he wasn't a politician. Right? We've had politician after politician after politician after politician after politician. And you know what's changed? Not much. You know what I mean? Not much. Not much has changed from one politician to the next. That's the reason why people stopped voting. That's why people got disconnected from voting, because they said it's always going to be the same. It doesn't matter who gets elected. They're always going to do whatever they want to do. Look at the violence, right? Has it changed? A little bit, because people now hate Donald Trump. So if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you're going to have to fucking defend yourself against some crazy fucker who hates Donald Trump. And so since you like Donald Trump, now you have to defend yourself in Donald Trump's honor. Now, that's fucking stupid. No matter who you like as your president is your fucking business. I'm not, say for instance, say I don't like Obama, right? Say if I didn't like Obama and other people do. Why would I go to this person who likes Obama and say, hey man, fuck you and fuck Obama. I'm gonna fuck you up. I want to fight you because of who you like. I might go off and be like, oh man, F you, man. You like that something, man, fuck you, man. I don't even talk to me. That's different. You can express yourself. You don't know how that person's gonna take it though. You tell me fuck you. You might get something more than just, fuck off. Right? But the fact of the matter is, this still your right. Say whatever you want. The thing is, regardless of who is the president, he's your president. I didn't go around bad mouthing fucking Obama, even when there was things I didn't like that he was doing. And the reason why I didn't badmouth Obama back then is because, first of all, I wasn't into politics like that. But second of all, that's my fucking president. Fuck it. I don't care. That's my president. And if he says we got to do some shit, we got to do some shit. There are some things where he try to fucking screw us. That's just how it is sometimes. He was looking out for his base and his type of people and what kind of impression he was trying to leave. And so it benefited them and screwed a lot of us other ones. Like I said, for every person who wins, someone has to lose. So as the Democrat Party and the people on the Democrat side were winning from Obama, the people on the fucking right and the conservative side were losing. Right? But then we get Trump. Right? I'm back fucking Trump. That's my fucking president. This motherfucker's flying this goddamn plane, and if he fucking goes down, everyone's going down. Right? If he fails, this country fails. And I don't understand why people don't see that. Let's try to work with him and figure out how we can make him better, make this country better, whatever the case may be. You don't think that there was people telling Obama, don't do this, don't do this. You're going to screw over a bunch of people. But see, he didn't care. He thought about his base. He thought about his agendas. See, when he put in the Affordable Care Act, right? Put in the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare, right? A lot of people was for it, right? Hell, a lot of these insurance companies were turning people away if you were too sick. If you had cancer and you didn't have insurance before you found out you had cancer, they took away your they wouldn't give you insurance. I think what I like about the 2016 election is, sorry, somebody had just popped up. The 2016 election and so on is a lot more people got into politics because of Trump. Regardless if people like or don't like him, they got everybody talking, and made me wonder why he won and got me involved in politics. Yeah, politics isn't for everybody. Not everybody's into that kind of stuff. But the thing is that we started to notice. A lot of people started to notice the fuckery that's going on. Because you know why? Donald Trump's going to fucking point it out. He's going to be like, look at these motherfuckers doing this. Look at these motherfuckers doing that. Look at the hypocrisy of this is going on. Look at these hypocrites saying that it was okay to do this, but now when I do it, it's fuck you. Because I was listening to the pitch, right? They're trying to take away the war rights for Donald Trump, right? So that he can't, they say he can't go on the offensive against these terrorists or whatever the case may be, right? They don't want him to be able to initiate anything, which is fucking stupid. If Donald Trump sees an opportunity to fucking take out somebody that is fucking killing millions or doing something fucking crazy, or sometimes you have to fucking show your might in order to get a motherfucker in line. Sometimes you have to do that kind of shit, right? Not everybody listens to people talk. People don't argue. Sometimes you have to show them, right? It's like a kid, right? There's some kids you can talk to and tell them don't do this and don't do that and tell them why, and they understand it and they don't do it. And then there's some kids you got to beat the fuck out of them. You got to be like, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, it sounds like they're putting gun control on the president. That's what they're doing. They're trying to muzzle him. They're trying to shut him down as bad as they can, right? They want to shut him completely down because they feel like that's a win. And it sucks because they outnumber us, even if they have this vote on this war, on that war stuff, right? They're gonna win regardless because there's full of fucking Democrats who all vote together, right? But I was talking about, for instance, the impeachment, right? And I was talking about the impeachment. I sat there and I was like, I told in a couple of streams that Nancy Pelosi is holding on to the impeachment because she wants to see what senators are going to be running for election for the 2020 senator seats. Right? She wants to know who's going to be running because she wants to try to flip the Senate seats so that they know that they can get the vote if Donald Trump wins in 2020. And that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to hold on to him because once she finds out who's all getting the list, who's all running in these Senate seats against these Republicans, they're gonna start campaigning with them and for them, and trying to get their votes up and try to convince these Democratic voters to vote these Democratic senators in the office just so they can get the president out when he wins in 2020. But see, Mitch McConnell and the senator from Texas has suggested that a 25-day limit, right? And they were trying to get that passed to get a limit on when she's allowed to turn in that paperwork. And I think that's fair. If you impeach a president, you should send over those documents almost immediately. You shouldn't be waiting. But she knew that she was going to lose in the Senate. They knew, we knew, everyone knew. So everyone was like, hey, the Democrats are going to vote for the impeachment on Donald Trump. I don't know why they're putting on the show. They're going to vote for it. They don't fucking care. It doesn't matter. But everyone was like, it doesn't matter that he gets impeached. The Senate's gonna let him off because it's a Republican Senate. But we seen when they voted for the impeachment how we got two Democrats to vote no on the impeachment, and one of them fucking changed from Democrat to Republican. The senator from, the congressman from New Jersey. So one of the congressmen from New Jersey, right after the vote, went from Democrat to Republican. Changed his fucking status. Like he was changing his fucking Facebook. Like he went from single to fucking married. that congressman was like, look, I'm married to the Republicans now, okay? I'm in a relationship. That what's that chick's name from the Democrat side that was running for president? Tulsi Gabbard. So Tulsi Gabbard is the only one who voted present, right? She didn't vote yes and she didn't vote no. She voted present. Now she voted present because on her Facebook status it said it's complicated. She said it's complicated because you know what? She's a military person. She gets the idea of military. She gets the idea of what we're trying to do on the Republican side. But the fact is that she is a Democrat. She is required, or is demanded of her to side a certain way, to rule in a certain way, to act a certain way. Now, if she wasn't a Democrat, I think she would be a good politician if, she started looking things a little bit more on our side than she's looking on hers, right? On the Democratic side. But she seems pretty interesting, right? You seen how Hillary Clinton attacked her, right? You seen how Hillary went after her and called her a Russian spy. Like, she's part of your own party. You're saying that Tulsi Gabbard, who is part of your group, your Democratic group, running for president on your side, is now a Russian spy. I swear to God, Hillary thinks everyone's a Russian spy. Right? I really think that she just goes around all day. She just looks around. They look around and they're just like, this country's full of Russian spies. I bet they think that all Donald Trump's supporters are Russian spies. Right? Like all the millions of people who voted for him are all Russian spies. She already thinks that we're all stupid. Right? She thinks that all people who voted Republican in 2016 are fucking stupid. Right? Her cocky fucking ass thought she just had it in the bag because she was married to what some Democrats would call the best president that we've ever had, and with Bill Clinton and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't trust you the same way that they don't trust Bill Clinton. I mean, him and Epstein fucking partying at his island, fucking underage girls doing what the fuck they want. I bet Hillary Clinton was over there too. I bet she was at the fucking island. Hillary Clinton was over there fucking little boys. Because there's a problem in this society where you can't molest a boy. Right? A boy cannot be molested, regardless of his age. Because if a woman was to molest a boy, it didn't happen. The boy should have liked it. That's what they think. Right? They think that if the little boy sleeps with an older woman, you should be fine with it. Right? What difference does it make? What's the matter with it? But when it comes to a little girl though, that's where they draw the line. They say, hey, that was a little girl. These grown men are sleeping with these little girls or these younger girls and whatever. But nobody cares about the fucking boys. Remember when Hillary Clinton was involved in that Pizzagate shit, right? Look at that. And the Pizzagate was about the prostitution or the you know, dealing with underage boys. Now you're trying to tell me the ties between Hillary Clinton, the underage boys, with Pizzagate and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a double standard. Yeah, I just look at it like, I mean, look, man, I don't know what Hillary Clinton's done over her time period of being in office and with the president and stuff like that, but nobody trusted her. Look how Obama bashed the fuck out of her when she was running against Obama, trying to get the nomination for president. And how what Obama said about Hillary Clinton. But then now all of a sudden they're friends because she's running against Donald Trump. It was like, oh, hey, it's fine, it's good, it's no big deal. Don't worry about all the shit I said a couple years ago. See, that's what politicians do, right? Like, they'll talk down on you, talk shit of all this fucking crazy shit, bring up all your fucking dirt. Right? Bring up all your fucking dirt. Tell the world how bad you are. Find out that the very next year or a couple years later you're running and you're trying to get this high up position, and then all of a sudden, oh, she's a great person, she's always been great for this country, you know, her and her husband did so much for this country, this and that, we're great friends, you know, she's a great politician, whatever the case may be. But, you know, like I say, Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, down there at Epstein's Island, fucking underage children, doing their fucking thing. There's a reason why they say all these people die around the Clintons, right? Like, they say that, right? And that's the reason why everybody was accusing the Clintons of killing Epstein. I don't think the Clintons killed him. Epstein knew a lot of rich people, a lot of people with money, a lot of people investing in his trafficking and stuff like that. So there could be anybody involved. I even suggested that even the warden himself is involved in underage girls. Right? Because even then, because a lot of these people that are in these positions, like prison owners and all these different stuff like that, they have ties with rich people as well. Right? They go to the same rich parties with everyone else. Look at Hollywood. Right? Where Hollywood is known, like, I mean, people are talking all the time about these actors, actresses, and actors and models and stuff like that being screwed by people that are older than them in Hollywood. Parents would bring their 12, 13, 14-year-old daughters to try out for a show or a movie or something like that, and the producers screw them or somebody screws them, and then so they can get the role. Right? Look at what's that fucking lady's name? Was it? No, it's not Cher. It was some actress, right? Who said her mom fucking sold her for $500 to a millionaire. A millionaire paid $500 to sleep with her, but she her mom told her that, you know, well, no, the millionaire told her. The millionaire told her, "Hey, I paid your mom to sleep with you." So this kind of stuff goes on in Hollywood like fucking crazy. And you know, the comedian who was going in on them on that award show, who they're fucking bashing right now. They're wanting him to apologize. How he's some right winger or whatever the case may be. He's not a right winger. He was just pointing out the hypocrisy that is going on in Hollywood. He told them, "Hey, look, I know you're not supposed to say anything about Epstein, but we all know he's all of y'all's friends. You know, or Weinstein, or one of them, right? One of the Steens." Because even Weinstein, you know, with him sleeping, you know how like the Me Too movement, right? And they said, hey, Weinstein told me I had to sleep with him to get this role or whatever the case may be, right? Well, you're a grown fucking adult. You said, hey, I'll give it up to you so that I can be in this movie. Then 20 years later, 15 years later, you're going, oh my God, you know, I wanted to get in this movie, and he used his power in movie making or whatever to get me to screw him so that I can get this role. You made millions, or you made hundreds of thousands of dollars on that movie or that role that you got into that you probably didn't even deserve. You just fucked your way to it. And so that's crazy to me that you voluntarily and went into this knowing that there was a possibility that you're going to have to sleep with this person to get what you want. Went in there knowing that this could happen. You sleep with the person, you get the role, you make your money. Some years down the line, that person took advantage of me. Took advantage of my wants. That'd be like saying, I want $1 million, and you have $1 million, and I'll sleep with you to get it. But in 10 years, I'm going to say that you took advantage of me being broke. You took advantage of my need for money so that you could sleep with me. And then, I made some money. I made some money. But it hurt me. It hurt me inside. My soul. My soul. That's right where they're laying. They're at the house. Why did I sleep with them? Oh, yeah, I made a couple $1 million on that fucking movie. That's why I slept with them. Rappers fucking do that shit. Right? There is some truth to them saying that these fucking rappers are fucking sleeping with producers, letting these fucking men run up in them just so they can get a rap deal. Right? I mean, they've been saying that for a long time. I think the first time I heard about that shit was back in the early 90s. About producers fucking these dudes, and they would tell them like, hey, the dude would go in there and he was like, hey, I got some music, you listen to it, man, you know, hit me up, let me just hear my stuff. And they'll be like, well, I'll listen to it, but you gotta let me fuck you first. And then they'll be like, nah, man, for real, dog, man, nah, fuck you, bro, nah, man, what do I look like? Well, then I guess you ain't serious about making this bread, man. You ain't serious about making this money. Get the hell on, you know. And be like, oh, man. Fuck. Shit. I mean, I could make millions with this fucking record deal. Okay, this is only between me and you, right? Nobody's gonna fucking know? Like, you're not gonna tell nobody? Alright, well, fuck, I guess. God damn it, fuck. And then they fuck them. They get some fucking half-ass deal. Whatever, right? I mean, they've been doing that shit forever, but you know, a lot of these guys aren't going to say what they fucking done to get some of these deals, right? If a guy ends up having to get fucked by another guy, trust me, he's not going to fucking be out there trying to talk about it. He ain't out there fucking going, oh, me too. That fucking guy took advantage of me. No, they're just going to be like, fuck it. If a woman took advantage of him, fuck it. He's like, fuck it. Whatever. It is what it is. I got to move on. You know, how the sexes act with each other are so fucking different, right? I mean, what men are willing to accept and ignore is so much different what women will accept and ignore, right? You know, if a man came out today and said, let's see, let me use an instance. Let me use an example that's relevant, right? All right, so you know how R. Kelly, right? You know how R. Kelly sleeping with all these underage girls, okay? I don't think he's innocent. I think he's been sleeping with underage girls for years. But I don't really have too much to say about R. Kelly because the fact of the matter is the fucking parents allowed their underage daughters to go to a fucking person's concert who sings about fucking all the time. You know what I mean? The mother wants to fuck R. Kelly and send their daughter to an R. Kelly fucking show. I mean, what the fuck you think is going to happen? R. Kelly's on the stage, he's fucking singing and, Step in the Name of Love, they call me the Cookie Monster, whatever the fuck it is, right? And he's singing these fucking songs and he's looking across the audience, right? He's got this really young fucking bass and they're all out there fucking, R. Kelly, R. Kelly. And then he's all like, hey, get her, get her, get her, get her. Tell them to meet me in the back. We'll see what's up. And see how many people want to sleep with him. And then these young girls that sleep with him, right? R. Kelly goes, hey, here's a couple $1,000. Don't say nothing. This never happened. They keep their mouth shut. Maybe he's sending them a couple $100 every month, whatever, just to keep their mouth shut. And then time comes, he starts going broke. The money stops coming. Then you got this 30-year-old woman that was being screwed by R. Kelly when she was like 14, 15 years old, going, R. Kelly took advantage of me. I don't know, whatever, right? And that shit happens. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that, right? Look, I know, for instance, I know where my fucking daughter is. Okay? She sure the fuck wasn't at no R. Kelly fucking show. She ain't at no fucking Tyrese show. She's not at no fucking Tank. She ain't at no fucking all the motherfuckers who sing like that, right? They don't give a fuck. Them motherfucking artists don't give a shit. Look at Drake, right? Look at Drake when he had that 16-year-old girl on the stage. Had that 16-year-old girl on the stage fucking filling her up. Talking about, oh, I can get in trouble for this. I don't know, But damn, girl, you're going to get me in trouble. I like this. But because he's fucking famous, it first of all is going to get ignored. But second of all, you sent your fucking daughter up there. You sent her up there. You know how things get when you get a bunch of fucking horny people running around the fucking stage and shit like that. You never know what's going to happen. There's all kinds of stories like that. I've never been to one of these concerts. I don't know. I don't know what goes on in them fucking concerts, but I've heard stories. Right? But it just... What if R. Kelly wasn't just doing little girls? See, everybody's focused on the younger girls, right? The 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, whatever, right? They're focused on, man, did R. Kelly fucking sleep with this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl, right? Now, what if he was sleeping with younger boys too? You don't think there was some flamboyant little boy that was all like, I sleep with R. Kelly. He thinks he's fucking gay, whatever the case may be, right? And he's like, R. Kelly sees him and fucks him. You haven't heard any stories about that. I'm willing to bet that there's possibilities out there. Because if anything has shown, if anything's history, if history has shown us anything, and that is that rich people like to push the bounds. Money, with the amount of money that they make, the amount of money that they have, they want that excitement, that having what they can't have, right? It's all about having what they can't have. So they'll do things outrageous just because they have the money to do so. The thing is that 50% of the people that it happens to, they keep it to themselves. The other 50% wait until some years go by and they let off with it. This and such happened. So that's anything is possible, right? Anything is possible when it comes to people with money because you never know, right? That's the reason why. That's why I say it's kind of hard to trust the people that we put in charge of us. And it's hard to trust the people who have money. It's hard to trust anyone now these days. It seems like the only people you can trust are in your circle, right? That's in your family, that's in your home, or whatever the case may be. But even then, sometimes it gets a little shaky because not everybody's a good person. Everyone has a family member who's done something they shouldn't have been doing. and you don't trust them around your people. Right? There's always that one family member that just, whenever they come around, you're like, lock up this, lock up that, hide this, hide that. Don't let that person be alone with this kid or that kid or whatever the case may be. Everybody has somebody that is like that. The only problem is, say for instance, in the poor community, that shit runs rampant, right? That hiding your children runs rampant because it seems like poor people don't give a shit about their kids sometimes, right? They'll allow people to mess with their children. They'll allow people to come around their children that they know that shouldn't be around them, just because that person makes money, that person's supplying the goods for the home, and they think that something might be going on, but they just don't want to run that person off. Right? They're scared that if they make a wrong move, they accuse them of something that they're not supposed to be doing, that they could leave and so on, right? And that blows my mind, right? Because I've seen it. I have 3 sisters. Right? I have 3 sisters, and I've seen how these creeps are. Okay, I seen how they acted with around, or try to act around them, or act, a certain type of way. But they feel so comfortable in those communities, right? So it's a weird thing. So when you have money, you get more access to that kind of stuff, right? You get more access to people who need money. Okay, so when I did the Epstein video a few months ago, like a month ago, I did the Epstein video, and I was saying that I watched 60 Minutes Australia, and they were doing the story about the woman in Australia, or the woman who moved to Australia, and she was one of the Epstein victims, right? And what she said is that she was 14 years old. So 14, I think she said 14. And a friend of hers had told her about giving this guy a massage, and they would pay her to do it, right? And so she was supposed to go there, give Epstein a massage, and she was going to get $250 for doing it. She went there. She went to try to do the massage or whatever. They end up screwing, right? And it went on for some years. And that's the same one that was accusing the prince of sleeping with her, right? And she went to a party, and the prince was there with Epstein and them. And the prince was at Epstein's island and stuff. Now, so she was saying all these things, and I was like, what fucking parent is letting a 14-year-old run that free, that she's out giving a fucking massage to somebody, that she's out there working for money to do massages? What was she doing with the money once she got it? What, she just go and blow the $250 right then and there and not take it home, and her parents don't know what the hell is going on with her? Because as a kid, there's a certain level of freedom you did get way back when, right? But some things don't add up. So she said that after she did all this, right, she says that he started making her go find girls for him, underage girls for him. So then I'm going, why the fuck is she not in prison? Why the fuck is she not in prison? Because if she's admitting on camera that she went out and picked up underage girls for Epstein, she should be held accountable as well. And they'll be like, oh, but she was a victim. You're only a victim for so long. People know what's right and what's wrong. Right? Now, you went out on your own free will, because it wasn't like, she was on chains and he walked her around the area and she picked out motherfuckers for him and whatever. No, she was out on her own free will. She was required by Epstein to pick up these girls, and he was going to keep paying for her school and stuff, right? Because she was in school, so he was paying for her school for massage and some other stuff, right? So she was going to school. He's paying her bill, and his only request from her is to keep bringing me more and more girls. That means you knew this shit was wrong, and you kept fucking doing it. And I'm like, that's crazy. Now, if, say for instance, Epstein would have fucking goddamn molested a boy and fucking had him out there fucking picking up underage girls, they would hold that boy to the same standard they would hold Epstein to. You know, how they look at men and boys is weird. Like we're just always going to be the responsible one, and no matter what the situation is. But if it's a female, then she's just a victim, and she's just doing as she's told. And she called Epstein a monster. She was like, Epstein, he was a monster. He did this and did that with these underage girls or whatever. He had thousands of them, and so I'm like, you're a fucking monster. Those little girls that you fucking went and got, they think you're a monster. How are you any different from him? Oh, because you didn't do the act? Because you didn't sleep with them? You distributed those children to him. The same way with that, but see, for instance, the guy that was running that modeling agency in Paris, I think it was Paris or London or whatever, right? It was a model agency or whatever, model agency that the guy was producing his people. Like, the people would drop off their kids to do pictures, and he would take the kids to Epstein, and he would have his way with them, and then send the kids back home. Right? With the whole thread, if you tell anybody, I'll kill your parents, whatever the case may be, right? And so they're looking for that guy. They want that guy to go to prison. But he did the same thing the woman did. And how you know that guy that was supplying the girls to Epstein wasn't a victim himself? Nobody knows. But that's why I'm saying, like, they're not holding everybody at the same standard. And it's crazy that everyone said, like, a lot of these women say that they want equal rights and equal this, equal that. But really what it is they already have an advantage, but they want certain outcomes. You know what I mean? Things aren't equal. Things will never be equal. I'm not equal to any man. And you are not equal to me. You have your skills that you're good at and what you can do and what you're better at than I am. If you can lift 500 fucking pounds over your head with one hand and I can't, man, you're fucking better than me. I can't fucking do it. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm not gonna hurt myself. But we are not always on the same level. Even mentally. You may be able to read, write, spell words that are fucking 6 pages long, and I might not be able to. But we still treat each other as equals, as far as you're a person, I'm a person. You have your things that you're going to do, I have the things that I'm going to do. Right? People keep saying, oh man, when things aren't equal, things aren't equal. But I disagree. I disagree 100%. Things aren't fucking... I think things are equal when it comes to person. But when it comes down to it, we are not equal. My skills are my skills, your skills are your skills. Your personality is your personality, my personality is my personality. We don't all have to be alike. We're not a bunch of little fucking Ken dolls walking around here just trying to fucking blend in the Barbie house. Okay? So that's a stupid idea. That we all have to be equal. The playing field isn't equal. Our opportunities aren't equal. You get dealt the hand that you're going to get dealt. I'm going to get dealt the hand that I'm going to get dealt. And then we're going to play it out like that, right? We're going to just try to make it through life and not want to kill each other. I mean, really. I mean, that's really what we're trying to do. I don't want to inflict harm on you, and I don't want you to inflict harm on me. We're just trying to mind our own business and go through life. But no, everything has to be equal. Oh no, the fucking pay has to be equal. But you can't do what I do. I can't do what you do. Yeah, we are all dealt with different cards in life. We aren't supposed to be equal. Yeah, I mean, we're not. But that's what makes you you. Right? What makes you you is you aren't the same as me. What makes the next man beside you him is what makes him him. He doesn't have to be like me. I don't have to be like him. But the ideas on the left is that we all have to be the same. That if we disagree in each other's beliefs, then therefore we are against everyone. Right? And that is a stupid fucking mindset. That is a stupid mindset pushed onto everyone when everybody was getting the participation trophy. When everybody has to be a winner. You know what I mean? Everyone has to win. It doesn't matter if you lose. If you lose, everybody won. Right? The winning kids got to go out for ice cream. And the losing kid got to go out for ice cream. See, the difference was, in reality, the way it was supposed to be, right? The winning team, you get to celebrate. You get to do your own thing. You're happy with your team. You know, y'all won. Y'all kicked fucking ass. Y'all gonna go down to whatever restaurant and either eat pizza and fucking eat ice cream, whatever the case may be. And then the losing team, they'll get some shit talked to them by the coach, whatever. Hey, man, y'all fucking lost. We'll have to do better next time. But if you put forth an effort and you try to fight the best you could, at least you tried. But maybe next time. But now, no. Everyone has to win. If the winning team wins a trophy and you're going to go have pizza and ice cream, the losing team has to have the same trophies and they got to go have pizza and ice cream with them. Because we can't teach our kids that it's okay to lose sometimes. That losing teaches them how to win. Because when you do something a certain way and you lose, you learn not to do it that way so that you can win. And those are things that we are no longer teaching our youth. Right? Not teaching them that it's okay to lose. You know, sports used to be a big thing to families and people because one, it taught your kid discipline. It taught your kid almost like loyalty and being able to work together and stuff like that. But it also taught them how to take losses, how to control their anger. You know, it's an attack on capitalism. It's an attack. It takes away from corporations and inventions, innovation. Sorry, my reading sucks. So sorry, K-Dog. I don't know. It should have been easy enough words, right? I fucking have issues sometimes. Innovation. You know what? They're trying to teach these kids not to think of anything, right? They want them to work inside the systems that they have designed. Don't think outside the box. Don't try to make your own way, because making your own way is stupid. And that's what they're trying to teach everyone, that, hey, don't fucking go against the system. The system's looking out for you. Right? You know, you don't have to invent something new. You don't have to work outside this. We got it all figured out for you. That's the reason why, if you look now, tell me how many new things that are coming out that isn't just a modification of something old. Right? Everything's just a modification. Everything's a modification. They modify the phone. They modify the phone. They modify the phone again. They modify the phone again. There are small pieces to the phone that obviously has been changed. And like I said, it's just a modification. It's not something new. But they do work on them, make them better. But the thing is that everything's just a modification. And that's what they keep doing to everything. Just modify it. Don't think of something new. You know what I mean? But the easier we try to make it, the harder we're making it at the same time. Right? So every time that we sit there and we try to make life easier, right? Because we all want to live an easy life. You want to live an easy life. I want to live an easy life. I just want to, supply enough goods and stuff for my family and live the best life that I can live. But I don't have to have it all. I just want enough to be comfortable and do all right. But, it's very depressing sometimes when you think about these type of people, because we all love each other to an extent, right? I have no hatred to the left. Every last one of them. I don't fucking hate them. Some things they're misinformed. But it's the fact that we all want the same thing, but we just don't know how to get it without stepping on each other's toes. Right? Say for instance, they want big government, we want small government. They want high taxes, we want small taxes. They want government programs, we want less government programs, because less government programs means less taxes, which they'll never fucking do. I'm waiting on the time where they say, man, this country's doing so fucking great, don't worry about paying your taxes this year. Can you imagine that day? Can you imagine that the day that the country is doing so well, that $4,000, that $10,000, that $6,000, that $200, whatever the case that somebody pays in the taxes? Can you imagine them telling you, don't worry about it this year, you're good, we've been doing great. If things slow down, we'll come back to you and ask you again. Right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Just thinking about it, it brings like joy, just thinking like, oh man, can you imagine the day we do so good that we don't have to pay taxes anymore? That the consumer, like just consuming stuff like that, the investments in each other's countries and stuff like that can sustain itself without asking its people to do it for them. Right? That idealism looks fucking cool. Let's see. When the economy gets off the petrodollar, it can happen. Yeah, we signed the deal with Iran, with Saudi Arabia and stuff like that to get this oil, have this oil as our currency, because any country who trades in oil has to trade in the U.S. dollar. Right? So even China, right? Even China or Iran or Iraq or Russia or anybody, we got dibs, right? We made the deal with Saudi Arabia before anyone else could to all their oil, and we got to manipulate how we wanted to get paid. Let's see. Andrew Jackson did it. He came back, and JFK tried to do it and got killed for it. JFK got. I do think that his wanting to keep transparency and show them what, because he remember he was saying that there's organizations under in the background doing shit, right? And and it said that, you know, hey, this stuff is going on in the background yet, and that got him killed. But I looked into some of the history on JFK and how with his ties to the mob, and stuff like that, right? You know, it was a crazy story that I watched. And then like a lot of people think that Bush Sr. actually is the one that had JFK killed. I've heard stories like that. I've heard stories where they said President Bush Sr. or at the time he wasn't president, but Bush fucking had him killed. And look at all the like with his brother being killed and shit like that. See, some people are scared that could happen to Donald Trump because you know, he wants to attack the Fed, right? He's not going to do it during his first year running, but he's been wanting to attack the Fed. He's been attacking the Fed openly on numerous accounts. But he wants to attack the actual Fed and get us on our own shit, right? Get us out of that central bank. Because the Fed isn't for us. The Fed is a fucking bank. It's a fucking business. It's just because it's called the Federal Reserve doesn't mean that it's for us. It's not the government's reserve. It's not. Yeah, Bush Sr. was the director of the CIA at the time, and his vice president LBJ put the hit out on JFK. Yeah, I mean, I think that's 100% true. I think that that he did play a role in it, right? You know, but I mean, I wasn't around during the time, right? That was in the fucking 60s. I wasn't here in the 60s. You know, so, and it's not like I wasn't in Dallas when it happened, so like I don't even think that there was just one shooter, right? But then again, if you look at like the mind control, right? When I was talking about mind control for my conspiracy things, is that they think that the guy that fucking killed JFK, or that said he killed JFK, couldn't remember anything, right? He didn't remember going to the library. Right? He didn't remember going to the library. He didn't remember why he took his gun. He didn't remember shooting anything. Right? And it's a possibility that this person was under mind control. That they got inside of his head and convinced him to fucking do it. And because he had ties with Russia and stuff like that, because Ukraine, because his girlfriend or whatever was from Ukraine or Russia or something like that, right? And they think because of his ties with them that that's the reason why he did it. And with his hatred for JFK and his background in military and his ties to Russia, they think that that's the reason why he's the one that fucking did it. But when they started trying to question him about it, he said he don't remember anything. Right? So, you know, maybe it's true. Maybe he didn't know. And maybe he you know, they got him to go up there for whatever reason, and he didn't shoot anything, and somebody else shot, and he was their fall guy. But I like stories that that go into these like what ifs or this and that, explain this, explain that, because they're so interesting, right? So, because like I said, when I was talking about the Agenda 21, I see a lot of those same things in, I see a lot of that stuff going on with the left. Yeah, I think Alex Jones also mentioned the JFK files that got released confirms there was more than one shooter. Yeah, And what was that? What was that thing they said? There was like the ice bullet or whatever. So it was supposedly like dissolved after it fucking shot him or some shit. And I heard the autopsy person said that they actually cut the president's skull, or like took JFK's skull apart to see how many bullet wounds were in his head, right? Or the trajectory in which the bullet went in. So, sorry, my nose itches. But yeah, I mean, that is something I've seen too. Right. So when I see this kind of stuff, I'm like, man, that's fucking interesting. Oh, that's crazy. You know, I never really got into Alex Jones. Yeah, especially, yeah. You know, and they said that when they did their autopsy, when they cut his fucking head open and shit like that, and they're examining everything, that they had to have like 3 people in the room to do it, so that they can basically have a witness. But I mean, if it was a governmental hit, right? I mean, and if any of the people that was in that room were involved, of course they're gonna be like, oh no, it was just one bullet hole. Yeah, when the hole, it was pointing downwards, it went down through his chin or some shit, right? Because that's what you would think, right? Because he was in the library tower shooting downwards at him. You would think that entrance wound, top of the head, coming out of the chin, right? You know, so why wasn't there more like somewhere down here, like in the neck or something, right? Why didn't the bullet hole come out here? Because I'm not a scientist, but that just seems logical to me. Like, if they were explaining that to me, like if I was at the coroner's office, right, and they told me, hey, Jose, I need you to come in here and tell me what you think. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, where's the exit hole at? In the eyes, or in the top of the forehead, or wherever the fuck it came out, because I don't know exactly where it came out. But I'm like, no, I mean, it should have entered the skull, and I don't know what caliper they were using. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I don't know if they said he was using 22, but if he was using a 22, I don't see how he could have done the damage that they say that he did with a fucking 22. I don't know. You know what I mean? But what do I know, right? I wasn't up there. If I can go back in time, I'd ask. Yeah, you know, but you get called out for questioning stuff. Yeah, no, yeah. If I was back from that time, obviously we'd be doing like you know, like they'll say, you know how we say Epstein didn't kill himself, right? Which I don't fucking, like I said, I don't think Epstein killed him fucking himself. Somebody fucking put the hit out for him. He fucking died. Playing those kind of fucking games, you can't be allowed to talk. If I was Epstein, right? Like if I was Epstein, I'm not Epstein, but if I was Epstein, as soon as I got arrested, I mean as soon as they raided my motherfucking house and picked me up, I'd have been like, oh no, he did it, she did it, he did it, he was in it, that person was in it. Jeff, John, Jack, Jill, Stem, Jeffrey, it doesn't matter. I'd been like, they were all, and I would have fucking been dropping names like fucking crazy. I would have fucking handed them the little black book that has all my contacts in it and been like, here, they were all in it. I would have just been like, take it. Fucking take it. Protect me. Protect me. I'm turning on everybody. I'm telling. But yeah, that's what I would have been doing. I'm like, I'm telling on everybody. So I'm gonna be like, if I die, one of these people in this book is responsible. And be like, I want you to investigate them all. Yeah, so that's just funny to me, right? I mean, that, you know how like a murder fucking criminal, right? And 2 people kill somebody and they're all like, hey, you know, tell me, did your friend kill that person? Even though y'all both shot him, you're like, did your friend kill that person? I mean, because just be honest with me. Because if you're not honest with me and you lied to me and I find out that you participated in it, then I'm going to give you life in prison and I'm going to give your friend life in prison. And then he's all like, no, I didn't want him to. I didn't want him to shoot him. I kept telling him, no, don't do it, don't do it. He shot him anyways. Next thing you know, his buddy's in fucking jail. He's getting 5 months. He walks. He goes on about his life, right? Or maybe, depending on what kind of person he's snitching on. But, you know, if that was like a saying, if I was that fucking dude, I'd been like dropping names. Yeah, we'll get a lighter sentence if you tell us who else is with you. Yeah, they were like, who else is with you? They don't know who was all there, but they're just trying to get you to fucking tell, right? Give you a lighter sentence. But I just saying, that kind of information, they said that they have people that they think might be involved, but they're not going to drop any names because they don't want them to feel like they're getting any pressure, so they can either catch them somehow. But, I mean, come on now. You can't just bring this out to light in front of the world and then just kind of brush it under the rug and expect everyone to just accept it. Right? You're like, these fucking little girls, lots and thousands of them, selling them. He's a billionaire. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what he's up to. You know, this man didn't become a billionaire without selling those girls to other fucking millionaires and billionaires. Right? I heard that on his island he was recording the people fucking those girls. That they have video surveillance of people who were engaged in these things with these people, and yet we haven't heard a name. Right? We haven't heard a name dropped about anybody else. Only 2 names we heard: Epstein, Prince. The Prince Andrew or whatever, right? Prince Andrew and Epstein and Bill Clinton. Those are 3 names that we've only heard. Bill Clinton isn't in trouble. Bill Clinton ain't facing the trial and saying, oh, look, let me explain. I did not have sexual intercourse with that woman. We're like, I did not have intercourse with those underage women or girls, whichever you want to call them. Can you imagine Bill Clinton? It'd be like a flashback, right? Bill Clinton, he's in front of the stands, and he does his famous, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. So that would be hilarious to see, to see that happen again, right? And then him facing more charges, talking about, we have evidence your jizz is on her dress. I'm sorry, I'm thinking back to the 90s. Alright. I'm sorry. That is not funny. You cannot be laughing about Bill Clinton and his famous speech. Okay? Alright, so yeah. Okay, so alright. I got 2 more minutes. I'm going to end this stream. I have to be at work at 4 in the morning.
You don't have to tell everyone what you
And right now it's 11:35. So if I'm lucky, I get some sleep. It's a bit mind-blowing that there is another country with lower age consent, and they think that it's normal there. Like in the Philippines, I think it's 12 or 14. It's low here in Japan, too, is 14. Shit. So at 14 years old in Japan, you can sleep with older people, and in the Philippines. I know the Philippines are getting down like that. I have a couple people that watch my show from the Philippines, or if I've interacted with Philippines. That's crazy. Yeah, all right. Yeah, man, get you some sleep. Look, I've had a blast, man. Look, I know crowd's not big tonight. It's just been me and you tonight, but I've had a blast. I had a blast because you know what? People might come back later on and watch the replay since they missed the live, and I'm hoping they enjoy it. But like I said, I had fun, man. You've been a good supporter. You've come here and supported me throughout the night, and I also want to give you something as well for your support, man, because you come by here, and it's always good to have good supporters, man, that have the. I don't know if you enjoyed the show, but I'm assuming you did, man. You hung out for a long ass time with me, and you didn't have to, right? Because your time is just as valuable as my time, and I don't want to waste your time. I try to be entertaining. I know some stories. I don't know a lot, but I just enjoy doing this with everybody. So I went ahead and gave you my one of my tools from my tool bag, and I appreciate you coming by here, man, and just hanging out with me. You know, I know that I think you're from Citizen Man's show. Like, I think that's where I found you at, right? I think we met on Citizen Man's show. So Citizen Man was here the other day with me. So I've had a couple people that came with me, and they actually stuck around with me the entire live. We conversated back and forth, and they were really decent shows. So if you get a chance, go back. I don't want to make you do anything or whatever, right? I mean, some people don't like to watch some of the older stuff, but check out some of the older stuff and tell me what you think, right? Because I do have to get my watch time up, but if you do run across any of the other lives or whatever that are actually longer than 30 seconds, because I have some that's out there, feel free to check them out, man. I think they could be relatively entertaining. There's a couple of them where I was clowning around. I have different sides of myself. So it says, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I tried to catch his stream live, but different time zones. He's usually streaming while I'm at work. Oh, okay. You see, he's usually streaming before I got to go to bed. Right? Because he streams at 10 o'clock here in our time. Right? So he's streaming at 10 or so. He streams for like an hour or two, depending on how long he's going to go live. And sometimes I can't catch him because I work at 5 in the morning on most cases. Well, today's Saturday coming up, and Saturday I go an hour earlier than I do during the week. So if I got to be up at 5 in the morning and he's streaming until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, I'm not going to get any sleep. Like none whatsoever. But I do like catching his shows because he talks in a different tone, a different way. He has a different view on things, but I think that we have a lot of things in common, right? The other day, that's why I talked to him and I told him, hey man, come help me out, come check out my show, man, because I was having some issues. Because what I wanted to do is have a live stream that had me and him talking back and forth, get both his audience, my audience together, and have this conversation with someone who can talk back to me, right? On like voice wise. And then keep it going back and forth. So because I think that we have a lot of things that we agree on, but there's also some things that we may not agree on. But we talked about that, like in our live, like when we talked, me and him just talked live. It was just me and Citizen Man. You know what I mean? And we talked about. I told him what certain goals I was trying to do or certain things, and we talked. And we might have had a slight disagreement on the method, but it was kind of a very interesting show, right? But if you want, man, check them out. If you got nothing to do, mine's all most of my videos are audio, right? So you don't have to watch them unless you want to see my floppy arms doing this number in the background, doing stupid shit with my hands because I don't know what to do with them half the time. If you want to see me doing stupid shit with my hands, feel free. Right? I'm always rubbing my mustache, itching the top of my nose, but my mustache is always itching me sometimes. But you know, if you want to see me doing stupid shit like that, you can watch it. But it's mainly audio. So I like to think that I'd rather you hear me than see me. But having my face associated with it, you recognize me when you see me. All right? So, man, it's been a good night, man. And I appreciate you being here. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I hope you have... I don't know what time you are over there. Because if you said you're at work while he's streaming... And I think you said you're in Japan. I'm assuming that it's like... already like 7 in the morning. I'm only assuming. I don't know. I don't know the time frame because since I'm recording from my phone. I can't look up my time frames. All right. Maybe I can. Let me see. Hey, babe, what time is it in Japan? No.
I don't know.
Let me see. I want to see what time it is in Japan. Hold on, real quick. Let's see. Thanks, man. It's almost 3. Oh, it's 3 p.m. there. Oh shit! Your day's almost over with. I mean, you're probably at work. You're probably getting off in like a couple minutes or so. You probably already been off. I live to listen to people while I clean my room and stuff. Oh, okay. Man, look, I listen to people all the time while I'm at work. I put on people's videos because obviously I can't record and do all that stuff while I'm at work. So I put on other people's videos. I listen to their videos. I enjoy their videos, and also just get content for the day. Right? I don't record every day. I record Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sometimes I record later. Sometimes I record earlier. But it's because things are going on. Right? Like today, I went and picked up my sister-in-law. You know, we went out to eat, all this other stuff. So I got home late. Started streaming late. Yeah, it's Saturday here. No work on weekends. Oh, I'm working. So I work Saturdays. I work 10 hours a day. I work from 5 a.m. to 3:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and then I work from 4 a.m. sometimes to 1:30, depending on what kind of work we have. Right? So, you know, we at least got to work our 8 hours. So I do that. Right? So. But what I try to do is I try to go every other day so that one, I give y'all a break. I don't always have to constantly keep thinking of things, but at the same time, I could spend like family time in the days between, right? So, and then I don't record on the weekends. I use that time to just catch up on other people's stuff and just hang out around the house. But yeah, so I'm always watching people's stuff online and just listening to it, like. You know what I mean? I listen to the rallies, the presidential rallies, or like I said, other people's streams. Like I'll go back and listen to some Citizen Man stuff, or just random people stuff, right? But yeah, man, I appreciate you being here, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, dude. I hope you have a good day. You know, do you, man? I'll see you next time. My next live stream will be on Monday. Okay, so if you want, come by Monday. Check me out. I'll be here doing the same old thing. Either trying to make you laugh, trying to make you think, trying to make me think. We'll see how the day plays out. Because on Jose Hall Show, everything's on the table and we'll see how this day goes. So, I'll see you later, man. I'll holler at you, bro. Bye.